All right, guys, let's talk about the Influencer Club. This is just for your eyes. Despite the fact that I'm dressed up in my background, does not mean you should share this. This is a leadership only video. When you think of your business, your Beyond Slim business as a whole, it is a whole piece of a pie. Everything else outside of your life is its own pie. But let's just think of this whole circle of Beyond Slim as your pie and how you're dividing that up. 70 to 80% of that pie, depending on where you are in your journey, should be spent working with 5 people to get them to leadership. Should be spent building leaders. I will say 5 for a very specific reason, because when you are building leaders, you are giving them your heart and soul, and it's a lot of energy output, and it can become overwhelming and maybe stretched too thin if you do more than 5. I will also tell you less than 5 is dangerous too, because all 5 are never gonna make it. I've never seen it happen. Of course, it always could. I don't want to say never, but when you are working with 5 at all times, you are cushioning your bed to have 1 or 2 cross that boundary. And I tell you guys, remember, leadership is the few, not the many. You know, it's 1 in 100, it's 2 in 100. So don't beat yourself up if you work with 5 and 1 makes it, because you're working your Beyond Slim business with the system of building and creating leaders. So you have your 5, 70 to 80% of your time. The rest of that time, that 25% is split between your personal business and everybody else. Your systems that you create are designed for the 90%. How to onboard, how you do their training. Maybe you have a weekly call or a monthly call. Like, you have your systems in place. They're called systems, so they're not completely always needing from you and pouring out from you. So in addition to those systems, create a pond or a pool for your up and coming leaders. This is where you will find your 5 and continue to be able to fish and get those leaders to work with. Influencers are what you need to climb the comp plan. So it has to be an influencer club. If you do volume, I know I said in my thing I did volume, but that was a different comp plan. This comp plan is all about influencers. So don't do volume, do influencers. You want to create a program that you can grow from. So don't stretch yourself thin out the gate. Think about your group, your business, your income, and what you want to put into that. Really key, important thing right here. I'm talking about each of you doing your own. Once you hit another leader under you, a silver 3 and up leader, their influencers are their influencers. You are working not just with your directs, but you are working with that area in all of your legs before you hit that next leader. This is so important because you want to be able to give that focus, time, and energy to this group, and you want to have them bonded and attached to you. You want to be seen as their leader, okay? So when you guys collaborate, you can collaborate. I hope you collaborate on ideas and being guest speakers for each other and stuff like that. But do your own club. Create your own space for you and your influencers. I think a monthly call is a great idea. You could have it be a training call, a motivation call, a book club. That was always a fun thing to do. Find a book that really shifted your life and everybody read it and you talk about it. That's for you to decide. So you create your monthly call. Now, on this call, do recognition. This is really important. Do recognition that you are giving to them. Don't ask them to give it to themselves. So you're shouting them out. I encourage you guys to shout out the activity, not the result. Shout out and recognize the activity, not the result. We know from building businesses, the activity will eventually reach a result. Some people have to do more, some people have to do less. But if somebody knows that they're going to get recognized for simply doing the work and activity, they will show up and they will do it. And guess what? We know that doing the activity enough, it will turn into a result. So on that call, shout out the activity. Now, I encourage you to set up a way of really tracking and seeing what they're doing. I use Google Docs. So I would create a cute little Google Doc that asks questions, name, how many conversations how they had this week, how many customers did they add, what was their biggest win, what was their biggest struggle, how many new contacts did they add? I mean, you guys sit down and figure that out based on, again, you, your business, and how your systems teach them to build their business. And then you're going to grab that information and you're going to use that for gauging how the results for their activity is going. If you see somebody having 500 conversations and 2 customers, they need you to dig in and figure it out and help them, because they're showing up, they're doing the activity. That means you give them that time and you work with them. And again, recognize on that call, shout out the activity, not the result on this call. Okay, next thing is the tangible gifts. Let's fill that love language. This is that website I gave you called Wine Onion. This is the big, hairy, dirty secret. This is the why we don't want this video getting out. This is like when somebody becomes a leader and goes off to do their own, you get to give them this. You do not want your people knowing that you have access to this wholesale website. So what I would do is I would do a 3-month plan, and I would go and I would pick out a set. You don't have to do jewelry. It's just what I do. There's tons of stuff on that website. But I'm going to tell you the way that I've done it. Earrings, necklace, bracelet, set. They all look together, go together. They're all beautiful. 1 year in January, 1 year in February, 1 year in March. Now, you also have a consistency prize, and this is the biggest and bestest one. This one probably costs you the same as all 3 of those pieces. So when somebody does it all 3 months, they get their full set of jewelry and this. Reward people for consistency. So now you're filling the gifts cup, and you're creating this fun thing that when you guys get together at events or whatever, you guys all can wear your matching sets or your necklaces or your handbags. Like, it creates that fun community. And then the final piece is always do something for this group every chance you get when you are together. This is how you up your attendance at events. When you create a community and these people are running every single month to hit influencer because they want that dang necklace, they want that recognition on the call, they want that additional training, and they're winning and seeing income, they're going to be more likely to go to an event. And then at that event, they get to be part of the super cool exclusive thing. There are many different things you can do. I shared with you on my voice message, the one, I'll share a couple of them real quick that I've done. We had an event in Dallas one time. I did Medieval Times. That was the most expensive one I ever did. One time I did the Spa Castle, where we all went and had a spa day. But the most impactful one I ever did is when I took them all out to dessert at the Melting Pot. I negotiated dessert on a group plan. I think it was $15 a person. So $15 a person, delicious melting pot dessert. Everybody was really excited about it. But there, I gave them each a framed power word of something that I saw in them, an attribute that I saw in them, and had it calligraphied by a friend of why I saw this attribute in them, and brought each of them up and recognized not the result. I recognized who they were. So at this event, it wasn't like Queen of Sales, #1 team builder. Every single person that was part of this club was brought up and recognized for something inside of them. Intrinsically validating people will get you so much farther than shouting out what they've done, how they've produced. Leadership comes from igniting belief inside of somebody. When somebody truly believes that they are strong, when they truly believe that they are persistent, when they truly believe that they have integrity, and you're telling them why you see that in them, they really believe it in themselves, and they will step into leadership. They will crawl across broken glass to not miss that experience. Intrinsic validation for people is how you build a tribe. It's how you build loyalty. And it's how you really, truly take people to the pinnacle of success. So it's a 3-part thing. And if you guys choose to dive in and do this, which I really encourage you to do, because if each one of you dives in and creates this program, we, the company, can layer on top of it. And I've got some really excited ideas of how we can do that to recognize even more the people that are part of these clubs every month and add to it. But you guys dig in, do this, commit to doing it for like 6 months. Don't do it for a month. Don't do it for 2 months. Commit to it and see what happens. Because, it takes a while to grow stuff. So I said I was going to do this under 10 minutes. That's the Influencer Club. Google Doc, so you can really, really track and tangibly see what they're doing, how they're doing, and what they need help with. A space, an exclusive space for training, motivation, connection, recognition for activity, not results. Gifts, tangible things that are fun, that don't cost you a ton of money, that bring people a ton of joy, and an exclusive thing, event, space, get together every time